Hey, fellow gamers, it's Cozy Mel with Byron Lance Games, formerly Melody Rose Games, as you know, but I'm still Cozy Mel. I'll always be Cozy Mel. We are working our way past the horrible hack of October 2025. And happy Winter Lights Festival, and happy shortest day, longest night of the year coming up, and that will be celebrated in Palia. This year we are going to have Reth kind of leading us through a longest night dinner, apparently. So excited about that. Anyway, breaking news. Patch Day is coming next Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. And folks, this is a lot of news coming up. Now, not everything in the actual video from S6 is going to be in this patch. So I'm going to read you the patch notes as I always do. Okay, Palia Path Roadmap, Winter's Wonder 2025-2026. For the next patch, which is 198 and will be happening on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, the Winterlights quests and celebrations will begin. Grow a Snowman event will start. Upgraded tinting system will begin. Lunar Path and Path of the Kitsu will begin. And the estate home lines will begin. Coming soon, so, January, February of 26, we will have in-game announcements, Palian population improvements, and more lunar paths. Down the road a few months or years, photo mode upgrade, more seasonal content, and the next adventure zone. Welcome back, Palians, to the Winter's Wonder edition of Palia Path Roadmap. This is your seasonal snapshot of what's arriving in the cozy snow-dusted weeks ahead, what's quietly cooking behind the scenes, and what festive surprises are still tucked under the tree. Our direction of production, Max Zereth, returns with a slate full of updates, sparkling celebrations, long-awaited quality of life improvements, new progression systems, and a fresh home line straight from Kilima Village's most iconic estate, which, as we all know, is the mayor's estate, his great big beautiful house. Grab some hot cocoa, plop in the chair by the fire, and let's take a festive stroll down the Palia Path together. The Palia Path Roadmap video covers a lot of ground, so we've raked it all up for you here. Fall Fantasy, home for Winterlights, patch 0.198. Winterlights returns in patch 0.198, the home for Winterlights update, bringing holiday cheer, charm, and a whole flurry of seasonal magic to Kilima Village and beyond. Here's a peek at what's glowing this Winterlights. A snow-filled Kilima Valley, Winterlights quests and celebrations, Grow a Snowman event, upgraded tinting system, lunar paths and Path of the Kitsu, home lines the estate, and more. On the horizon, later in the Winter's Wonder series, we'll introduce an entirely new way to communicate with Palians around the globe. We plan to deliver in-game announcements right where you play. This means you'll seamlessly see news and updates that are most relevant to you, such as game and server maintenance, new community events, more detailed patch notes, event announcements, and Twitch drops rewards opportunities without needing to visit Palia.com. It's a small change, but will make a big impact. These features will make it much easier for us to keep you all informed, connected, and celebrating together. Okay, so here's how I see this as a content creator and streamer. Well, this one is more impactful for me probably than some of the others because I actually read you your patch notes every month, and I do a video every time Palia has announcements. So I am so accustomed to having you guys need me. We need Cozy Mel because Cozy Mel keeps us updated, informed, and she gets it out the day the news comes out, and we can always count on her videos. Well, apparently Palia is about to make me obsolete, but I guess we'll see how that turns out. We're also working on under-the-hood updates to help players better connect and meet new friends in-game. We're developing new background processes that merge some servers for Palians playing during off-peak hours. This process is intended to make Palia's game world feel more lively and social as often as possible. When a server merge occurs, players receive up to 2 prompts to transition, followed by a smooth server transfer to a more active game space without losing progress, party members, or your location. Note, after 2 prompts, player will transfer automatically. This system not only improves the overall social experience, but also helps us optimize performance and stability across Palia's growing world. The result, more Palian neighbors to greet and a world that truly feels alive no matter when or where you play. Oh, and the best part, the feature is coming sooner rather than later. While this feature will not be available on day 1 of Home for the Winterlights update, we do expect the content to ship later in the patch. So sometime between December 9th and January 9th is what I'm assuming. But anyway, what it means is you'll get a notice on your screen that says you are something like, you are about to be switched to a more populated server. Yes or no, and you click yes or no, I assume. It will be something like that. I've done it millions of times in other games I've played. So this isn't anything new. Lots of games do this. This is not nefarious or horrible or awful. This is just something that happens to kind of group people together. So there's always a busy feel to the game and plenty of people around to help you when you need help. So anyway, they said you'll get asked twice if you want to move, and then the third time they'll just move you. Okay, looking ahead. While we've highlighted a lot of content coming to the Winter's Wonders series of updates, our long-term projects continue to develop behind the scenes. Teams are actively building out our next adventure zone, refining build together shared housing, improving our photo mode, and more. These features take time, but each remains a core part of Palia's future, and we're excited to share more details as they take shape. We also want to highlight an area many of you have asked about, more masculine presenting fashion. While feminine silhouettes have historically seen the highest engagement, we know a lot of players are eager for outfits that feel more tailored to masculine preferences. We hear you and we're working on it. On top of releases this year such as the Wild Howl, the Lumberjack, and Fall Fantasies Rogue Warrior Collection, we wanted to share that we're investing time and effort intentionally to create marquee and exciting outfits in this space. Keep an eye out for the Draconic Night outfit slated for release later down the line in Winter's Wonder. This is a fully featured marquee outfit that we think speaks to a certain masculine aesthetic that we haven't fully covered yet. And throughout 2026, you can expect a wider range of silhouettes and inspirations. We want to meet players where they are. So while our portfolio will likely still skew towards some more feminine-leaning options, our goal is that every player can find outfits they're excited about, and we think we'll get much closer to that goal in the coming seasons. Final thoughts. As winter settles across Kilima Valley and the glow of lantern light fills the night, we're thrilled to bring you another warm, cozy season of content. From building our perfect Winterlights Wonderland to experimenting with new tints to beginning your Lunar Path journey to crafting a proper estate, there's so much to enjoy this holiday season. We hope this Winter's Wonder edition of Palia Path paints a clear and festive picture of what's coming, what's growing, and what's still quietly brewing beyond the horizon. As always, stay warm, stay cozy, and we'll see you in Palia. Okay, so the first thing in the video tells us that there's going to be more snow everywhere. They said people didn't like last year's Winterlights Festival because there wasn't enough snow, so now there's going to be snow everywhere. They're also going to give you some new icicles in the holiday store. So basically, the holiday store has the same stuff it always had before. The red presents, green presents, blue presents, whatever, but there's going to be 3 icicles, and those icicles can be used to hang from the edges of the roofs of your houses. So that's going to be new for adding that. And then they're also going to give you a furniture set that's covered in snow. More on that later. But basically, they're saying there's going to be snow everywhere all over Kilima for a more snowy appearance for the season. And they also will have the gift-giving scavenger hunt. So this is the same thing we've done every year during Winterlights, and this year the locations of the chests are going to be changed, and they normally do that. So each year I normally do a video as soon as I can once I have found all the chests to let you know where they are in case you don't have time to hunt for them that particular day. But yes, there will be chests. Normally there's, say, 8 or 9 chests, and you go to the Zeki store. Zeki will have a book on his counter that gives you hints. Next, Reth and Ashura are going to be holding the Longest Night Feast, and you are going to go to the Home for the Holidays community board in Kilima Central and find the board, like we do every month now, and go see what you have to gather and donate to the vaults. There'll be 4 vaults on the board, as always, and you'll have to donate things to fill this out and complete these things so that you get gifts, for filling in all of the things, and you also help them to finish out a big dinner for the longest night of the year, which is normally the winter solstice. Now, there's also going to be some changes to the weeklies, and we'll get more into that in just a minute. Now, the next thing they talk about is the Grow Your Own Snowman campaign. This is going to be very similar to the candy corn campaign that we had in October for Halloween, okay? So this time what it's going to be is if you're out doing various activities, and they didn't say which ones, but I'm sure we will find out. Activities include mining, chopping trees, foraging, picking flowers, fishing, the normal stuff that you do. And normally what they'll do is they'll pick 3 or 4 of these activities and say, okay, while you're doing these activities, you have a chance to pick up a little snowman. They want you to pick up as many of the little snowmen as you can. I'm sure there'll be some place where they keep track of all these little snowmen and what you do with them and whatever, just like there were rules to the game when it came to candy corn. And then the snowman that they have in Kilima Central will grow. So the more people that participate and the more people that do whatever it is that they tell us to do with the tiny little snowmen, the bigger the snowman in Kilima will get, like back in the day a couple years ago when we had the giant frog burnt down by the lake. So that kind of thing, only this time with little tiny snowmen. So you might be out mining and you're like chopping with your pickaxe on a, iron node, and poof, you've got a little tiny snowman, that'll stack up in your bag. So that kind of thing. Okay, so as I said, we're going to talk more about tinting furniture now. In this patch 198, we are going to begin the new tinting system. The big takeaway here is that they are going to take the modification bench, change the name of it. It's going to be named the Tint Crafter. If you already have one, your modification bench will turn into a Tint Crafter. Automatically, you won't have to do anything to it. This is going to happen behind the scenes, whether you like it or not. So the modification bench worked by getting a piece of furniture. Put the furniture in your backpack. Go to the modification bench. Load the piece of furniture into the modification bench, and then change the color by using the color kits that cost 100 gold each at Tish's store. Then you would take the piece of furniture back into your backpack, take it back to your living room, put it back on the floor. That's how it worked. They're not going to have you do that anymore. Now that they're going to be expanding how many tints we can earn and learn about and gain and mix ourselves and whatever, they're going to change modification bench to the Tint Crafter, and you will make your own paint, okay? So it's like that. So you decide, okay, I'm going to go to the Tint Crafter, and there will be an offering of certain colors, and you will, I guess, make those, craft those, gather them up into your backpack, who knows. And once you do have access to that color, then you can just walk around your house, click on a piece of furniture, and color it in whatever colors you have available after interacting with the Tint Crafter and whatever other acrobatics we have to do to get new colors over the next year or whatever. So anyway, I don't expect them to expand this into 2,000 new colors the first day like they did with eyeshadow, or lipstick. I have a feeling this is going to develop a little more slowly, but we'll see, who knows? And I also think this is going to be connected to the in-game dailies. I don't see how it won't be. So the daily tickets that I have not been bothering to earn because I don't wear makeup, and that's just because I am lazy and I don't want to have to go catch a fish every day. If I could use the fish that were already in my box, I would do that. I will have to start doing it if this is going to be how we get our colors for furniture, because coloring furniture is important to me. It's big, it's huge. People can look at it. They can see it right away. Makeup doesn't matter to me because no one can see it. You can put all the makeup on your face you want, but your avatar is tiny. You're walking around in a world where your avatar is an inch tall. Nobody is going to see what eyeliner you have on, I don't know. Anyway, so I don't spend a lot of time on makeup. But furniture and clothing tints, to me, are impactful, hugely, giantly impactful. And we have begged to color our clothing. We've begged to sew our own clothing. We have begged to color our furniture for 3 years. I mean, this is something we wanted in closed beta already, you know? The only thing we know for sure for next Tuesday is that they are going to give us 6, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new tints or colors that we will be able to use, and that we will have to find these or earn these somehow in what we do every day in Palia. So they aren't going to just be given to us as a free gift. Here you go, 6 new colors. I think we're going to have to jump through hoops, but we can start jumping through those hoops on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Now, on to something more complicated. They are going to be introducing the Lunar Path, Lunar, lunar as in the moon, Lunar Path. The Lunar Path is almost like a new currency system, but it's more like Renown. And it is a way of earning a substance like Renown that they're saying is going to be kind of like a Game Pass. Well, they're saying that this is kind of like a Palia Game Pass. And what it's going to do is allow you to play Palia every day the way you do right this minute. No changes to that. Do what you do. If you garden every day, garden every day. While you're doing that, you're going to earn some of this Lunar Path substance that will grow just like your Renown does, and pile up in a nice little pile that will then be spendable. And supposedly this will be spendable on things that normally you would have to pay cash for in the premium store with IRL real money. So not sure how this is all going to work yet or when this is exactly going to start, but they are giving us something different as far as a Game Pass goes. The first Lunar Path is said to be the path of the Kitsu, and you will earn cosmetics that are Kitsu themed. Now, this can be for a Kitsu plushie or perhaps Kitsu eyeliner for you to wear on your actual avatar. And various things. They're not telling us everything yet. They want it to be a secret and a surprise. However, they did say that your regular Renown that you've been earning, you can use your Renown for some of these things too. So I'm not sure exactly how this whole currency system is going to work. We won't find out until next Tuesday. But be aware, if you have Renown, I wouldn't spend it right now on anything. I would wait till next Tuesday to find out how this is all going to work. So unless you're over and your Renown is capped, then of course spend some. But otherwise, yeah, I would save it until next Tuesday and see how this new system, the Path of the Kitsu, is going to work out for us on our Lunar Path. And they did say this Game Pass called the Lunar Path is forever. They're saying right now anyway, they're never going to take it away. It's going to be part of the game forever. So even if you're just a casual player who signs on once a month, your stuff's still going to be there. If you had earned some, what you earned is still going to be there to be spendable, and you'll continue to earn. The next big thing is that they are announcing the Mayor's Estate, or the Estate home line. So this home line is going to give us green rooftops, more fancy windows, and a windmill that can be placed on top of your house. All of these things can be purchased as patterns and crafted on your crafting bench. And I imagine the purchasing takes place at City Hall, just like it does for the cottage, the Alchemist Cottage that we started to make a house that looks like tamales. All of these pieces are interchangeable with the Alchemist Cottage. If you want to make your roofs green on the Alchemist Cottage, you'll be able to do that. If you want to put a windmill on top of your Alchemist Cottage, you can do that. So you don't have to buy a whole new house if you don't want to, if you already have an Alchemist piece. So home lines is separate from the housing system that we had at the very beginning called homestead housing. Homestead housing will always be separate. It's not part of this because it's not part of this system that works together behind the scenes in the computer. So when I say that you can use these on the houses you already have, I'm talking about home lines houses, meaning the Alchemist houses. And you can also have new houses called Estate, which is the mayor's house. And you can also use things interchangeably from your alchemist house to your mayor house, back and forth, whatever you want to do. So it's just another expansion of the new home lines kind of, brick by brick system that they're introducing. Finally, they made a couple announcements that they are answering a few questions from the community. The first question was, when will we get our fairy mantis plushie? And they showed a picture of the model, almost like a claymation version of what the plushie will look like in game at some point. No, we do not get it in 198 next Tuesday, but we will probably get it in January or February. So he said in the coming couple of months, whatever that means, but I would say first quarter 2026 is a good guess for the fairy mantis. It is coming. The next question regarded Ulthe and when will we start having friendship with Ulthe? All they said is you will have the ability to start earning friendship with Ulthe when we drop the next patch for the Elderwood, the next story content, lore, move the story forward part of the Elderwood. And they said this is going to be happening before our next Adventure Zone drops. Well, in our experience, it seems to take years to develop an Adventure Zone. So, it's possible we get a new Adventure Zone by the end of 2026, or it could be 2030 before we get a new Adventure Zone. We don't know when that's going to happen. They've never promised when that's going to happen. But I would suspect it would be a year or two. So sometime before the next Adventure Zone comes out, whether that new Adventure Zone is some sort of sandy beach area, a complete desert, a snowy, icy northern land, or whatever it's going to be, before that happens, we're going to have friendship with Ulthe. Next question is, when can we have that greenhouse on the side of Tamala's house on our alchemist cottages? We've all been asking that. He said they are working on it. So, hey, we have confirmation from the horse's mouth. They're working on it. We are going to have that greenhouse wall for our alchemist cottages to make them look even more like Tamala's house. But he's not saying when. Next couple of months would be my best guess, but he didn't promise. The next question was, are you going to have more complex systems and features for us to use on our home plots? And he said yes, that will be continuing to be improved and coming along as time goes by. That they don't want to add too much right away to overwhelm people that might already be overwhelmed, but find ways to implement some of the things you guys are asking for the ability to do, like, for example, I've always asked for us to be able to put lights on the edges of our houses. I would love to have lights all year round along all the edges of the houses. They can't do it yet, but I think it's something that they're working on. So if you see what I mean, that would just be one example of something I wish we have that I think they can do and possibly will do at some point in the future. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this patch, and wow, that was a mouthful. So just one more time. Patch 0.198 is coming on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. That's next week, Tuesday, 5 days from now. In the meantime, to get ready for it, one thing I would suggest is don't spend your renown. If you've been saving up your renown, keep it, because the new system may use that very renown for some of the things like new color tints for furniture. I mean, if I spent all my renown today and then found out next Tuesday that I could have used it to buy a new color for the tinting bench, I would be kicking myself, from here to Sunday. Anyway. So that's coming. And as always, the patches take at least 3 hours to download. We will be down and not be able to play from 9 a.m. to noon on Tuesday the 9th at least. Sometimes it goes till 5 o'clock. There's no promises, but generally 9 a.m. to noon Central Time is when I am down for a Palia patch. So expect that next Tuesday. And also, if they come out with anything regarding Twitch drops, and that usually happens after the patch drops, then I will do a video and let you know, and hopefully I will be able to stream again soon. We're trying to get that set up on Twitch as we speak, and with Restream and YouTube, and be able to do that again. So Cozy Mel is going to ride again, don't you worry. So we need your support more than ever. So please like and subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss it when we drop a video. And I'll see you in the next one.